I looked around me and could only see the total destruction of painting. I was searching for a craft that no longer existed. Those words are from Tamara de Lempicka, a 20th century portrait artist whose work is very much back in style. Faith Salie visits the museum where it's on display.
When you see a painting by Tamara de Lempicka, it's hard to resist leaning in for a closer look.
She's just exquisite. You don't see the brush strokes. They're just polished and incredibly deliberate, and such a clean way of painting.
These glamorous Art Deco works are now on display at the De Young Museum in San Francisco, in the first ever Tamara de Lempicka retrospective in the United States. The exhibit travels to Houston this spring. Furio Rinaldi is one of the curators.
What makes a painting so characteristically Lempicka?
Geometrical shapes, everything is reduced to essential forms. And the other aspect of Lempicka is that she sourced directly from the examples provided by the European old masters. So all these things blended together create a language that not only is entirely unique, but entirely modern.
Born in 1894 in Poland as Tamara Rosa Hurwitz, Tamara eventually moved to St. Petersburg, marrying an aristocratic lawyer, Tadeusz Lempicki Junosa. In 1917, the Russian Revolution forced the couple and their young daughter to flee to Paris.
Paris was just recovering from the end of the First War, and there was a sense of hope for the future and kind of a great faith for what was to come.
In Paris, she began to paint, first out of financial necessity, using the name Lempicka.
She captured that very exciting moment of empowerment and emancipation for the queer community in Paris.
She was part of that community.
Very much so.
Some of the women she painted were her lovers.
The female body is not concealed or corseted as it was before in the previous decade. It's celebrated in its shape.
It even suggests the navel right there.
Yes.
I mean, it is draped, but it's also very sensual.
Eroticism with a sitter who's not even looking at us. She's just living in her own world. She has this gaze that is detached and completely cool.
Each time she sold a painting, she made a purchase of her own, a diamond bracelet. Marissa de Lempicka is the artist's great-granddaughter.
If she ever had to flee again, she could carry the braces with her. She could survive again.
She always had to think about saving herself.
Herself and her family.
Indeed, her fears were well-founded. In 1939, before the outbreak of World War II, Lempicka and her second husband, a Jewish-born baron, fled Europe for the United States. She continued painting another 4 decades until her death in 1980.
Did your great-grandmother have a sense of her legacy at the end of her life?
She was the toast of the town in the 20s and 30s in Paris. She was extremely well known. And then she moves to the United States, and the tastes change. Abstract expressionism is in fashion. So she kind of falls out of favor.
Why do you think we haven't known her name and her story?
I think the fact she's a woman artist, I mean, again, how many women artists can we name? You go to the general public, very, very few.
But Lempicka is now back in the public eye.
I will be a Lempicka.
Last year, she was the subject of a Broadway show, and her works continue to sell for millions of dollars. Collectors include Barbra Streisand and Madonna, who's even featured Lempicka's paintings in music videos.
What do you want people to know about your great-grandmother?
I hope people see her art, learn about her life, and feel empowered and inspired to live their own life and their own dreams. And I know this is what Tamara wanted.